it awoke something in me. And I spent an absolute age staring at this thing, this Frankenstein version of the leather world that I'd created out of bits. And I thought, this is amazing, this is fantastic. I made this. And all of a sudden, the stitching and the cutting and all the horrible bits about it just paled into insignificance. And what shone out from that was the fact that I'd actually made something, and a creative side of me came out. I didn't know it was there until that point. And that was the beginning.
So, who are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good question. Let me think about that. I'm Nigel Armitage. I own and run Armitage Leather here in Burton-upon-Trent in Staffordshire. And you're currently sat in my workshop. Welcome.
Why did you get into leatherworking?
Oh, that's a very good question. I didn't know leatherwork existed. Like so many people, you would go and buy a leather belt, a leather something or another, but not really have any appreciation of where it came from. There was an occasion where I wanted something making, so I went and spoke to somebody. The short version of what in essence was quite a long story was it didn't get made, which was unfortunate. However, with a little bit of frustration, I walked out of the saddler's with a piece of leather sufficiently big enough for me to make the item that I wanted. So I went home, and bearing in mind at that time, all I had was a piece of leather. I had no idea how to make the holes. I had no idea how to stitch it, what to stitch it with, anything. But nonetheless, I made the item that I wanted. And it was amazing. It was incredible. It was like I was a natural. No, it was awful. But the quality of the item doesn't matter. What mattered was it awoke something in me. And that was the beginning. I began going round jumble sales and trying to find second-hand items made of leather to cut up and repurpose, and then eventually found somebody to teach me formally. But the beginning for me was the discovery that I could make something out of leather, however good or bad that was. That's what started me on the journey to get here today. What inspires me about leather and why do I want to make stuff from it? Leather's very organic and tactile and timeless. I feel that if you can take a piece of material like a piece of leather and fashion it into an item that is both beautiful and usable, there's an immense of satisfaction to that. And once it's made, most people, when they see something made of leather, want to pick it up and touch it, and it's got a warmth and a depth to it. So being able to physically make something from a material that has such feedback and resonance is a wonderful experience. That's my draw. That was my draw. And 30 odd years I've been walking onto the workshop, and every time I walk through that door, it's a joy, because I get to play with leather.
So, if we were to make something, what do you think would be a piece that would tell a good story, and why?
Oh, I've got to ponder that. You see, anything will tell a story, but I've always found one particular article more interesting to talk about and people more interested in listening than most others, and that's a box. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the fact that people like boxes for secrets or putting things in, and people are always fascinated by them. Boxes are unusual for many reasons. One very good reason is we're stitching something where both the front and the back of the stitch is visible at the same time. The cutting has to be so precise. The awl work has to be absolutely spot on. Everything about it has to be at its uppermost level for it to come together. So yeah.
So you've backed yourself into a corner.
A little bit.
Is that what you're going to make? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right then.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'll make a box.
Music, kick in.
How's that?
That was good.
Yeah.
Like that? Yeah.
So first steps, what do we do?
Well, we need to have a look at what leather I've got. Let me go and have a nose. I want a firm, stiff, thick leather. And a good leather for that would be bridle butt. And a good bridle butt would be Sedgwick's. Bear with me. Andrew, it's Nige. How you doing, matey? Look, I've got an idea and I need a bit of Sedgwick's leather. Can we chat? Awesome. How's that?
I think that worked really well. And it did really happen. I could see on your phone that, and the audience might know that it's not happening right now. But just believe us, it did happen. Okay. Cheers, Andrew.
Yes. So leatherwork goes back to when we started wearing skins of animals that we hunted and ate. We fashioned those skins into clothing. So being a part of that lineage is a privilege. And it's kind of cool. The techniques that I use by leatherworking standards are very, very modern in the scheme of 40,000 years. But a leatherworker could probably walk in here from 200 years ago, recognise what I'm doing and pick up where I left off. And that's pretty cool. It's a wonderful thing to be a part of an item's story, but I am a very small part of that story. And there's a lineage to a piece of leather before it even gets to me. There's the farmer that reared the cow, the journey the cow went on and ultimately became a piece of leather. Squeamish for some, I appreciate, but it happens. And then the absolute artists that have turned that hide into the leather that we get today. And then the people that bring it to me so I can then work that piece of leather. And when I finish making the item, whatever it be, that's really where the journey begins. Because I don't make anything for anyone. I make it for them to borrow. And then they will pass it on. It's going to last years. And I'd like to think that I'm a very small part in the history of an article that a family could tell about. Grandad bought this once from Nigel Armitage and handed it down to your father, and now it's been handed to you. How cool would that be? That'd be amazing.
What would be the one piece of advice you'd give to young Nige starting out as a budding leatherworker?
The one piece of advice I'd give to anybody is keep going and practice. I get this email constantly. I want to start a business. What do I need to do? And they will then try and give me 36 bullet points of what they think they should do, missing the most important one. Are you any good? Can you do the job? It doesn't matter if you have a degree in business. It doesn't matter if you're a whiz at marketing. Yeah. Unless you can make the product, it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
Grab a pew. Are you recording?
Yep.
Cool. If I say bollocks, you can't use that bit, and we've got to start fresh now. People can disregard what they think is a simple item. I get people asking me all sorts of questions about techniques that are far beyond them, and they haven't visited the basics because they think, well, it's simple, and it doesn't work like that. Your core skills, your foundational techniques need to be addressed first. So, what are we going to make? What do you want to make?
You said to make that one.
Free will. I love that. And that's the one we're going to make then. So we can get rid of that. It's a card holder. Mm-hmm. It has 1 row of stitching. It has 4 pieces of leather. That's it. Okay. How simple do you think that is to make?
Not very.
No, it's not. The reason being is all of our core skills exist in this. So I'm going to ask you this question, and I want a very honest answer. Can you make that?
Not right now, no.
Okay, how long do you think it'll take you to learn the skills to make that?
I don't know. Hopefully not too long.
Okay, all right, we're going to find out. Hour 1, day 1, let's do it. That worked.
Did?
That will do. I'm pleased with that.
So, what were the challenges that you faced in starting your career?
Oh, there's a whole journey in there. That's a massive question. I think one of the biggest challenges that I faced, because I worked for a number of people, it was very, very secretive. I would be asking questions that were outside of the box, and I didn't get straight answers. And I remember finding that the industry back then was exceptionally secretive. It was as if, I'm going to nick their job type thing. But asking how to stitch a box or make a bag didn't move me forward as far as they were concerned, so therefore it was either ignored or they weren't willing to share. So I found that a bit of a hurdle, which is probably why I've been so vocal about leatherwork in recent years. We're fortunate insofar as there are so many people today that are vocal, and we have the internet. Everything's at your fingertips. There's so much more information available today than ever there was.
As a teacher, what is it that you enjoy most about seeing the skill level of your students grow?
You take somebody that, well, I've never done this before, what do I do? And at the end of the day, they've achieved something. And you watch that development and that growth. There's a fantastic reward in that. There really is. And it's even better over longer time. I have students that come to me on a semi-regular basis. And as a result, I watch them grow and develop into independent makers. That's fantastic. My ultimate goal is to give somebody the same feeling that I got the first time I made something. Are you proud of that? You should be. The stitching is fantastic. You have drops, no stitches at all. It is awesome. There's no two ways about it.
There was a couple of times I was
awesome.
like, oh, please tell me I cast over on that one.
No, you look, you count, you look at every single stitch, and every single stitch is beautifully placed. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
You made that.
I did.
Hello. Right then.
Coffee.
Yes, please. Yes. And today it's the big reveal of the box.
Indeed.
I'm excited to see what you've created.
Well, we will have a look.
What's your reveal face? Ready? Go.
Ta-da. I'm going to do it again.
And
Oh, look. A box. One box.
first reaction.
I'll be brutally honest with you. I'm not a fan. It's like anything. You form a relationship with the item that you're creating. And sometimes the slightest thing can go awry, and that relationship has a hiccup. And evidently here, my hiccup is my crisis of colour. I've got 3 colours. I've got the brass, the black, and the brown. Many people won't see that as an issue, but personally, because of the style that I follow, what drives my passion, the lovely sort of deep, rich tans of the Edwardian and Victorian era, is the stuff that I really like. I stepped away from that a little bit, maybe. It's still fresh, and I may have to not see it for a couple of weeks, and then look at it again and go, actually, I really like that. I think I've got that right. So it's been about 6 weeks since I made this. I dug it out, looked at it with new eyes, and they don't like it either. Other people have said they like it. You make your mind up. You might think it's lovely. It's well made. It's all right. Still don't like it. I don't know. It's nice. It's well made. It's a beautiful box. It's functional. It's either going to have a sextant or a lot of M&Ms in it. But there we are. Love it or hate it. It's done.
What scares you most when you're creating?
Getting it wrong. That's, without a shadow of a doubt, it's getting it wrong. There are consequences to getting it wrong. Having said that, your last mistake is your best teacher. And there's value in every mistake that you make. There's a lesson to be learned. The only time when making mistake is a negative thing is if you don't learn anything from it. And under no circumstances whatsoever should making a mistake stop you making.
And what makes you excited about just coming into work tomorrow?
Just coming into work. That is exactly what I get excited about. The day that I made that first item stuck with me and stays with me. I've made a few things over the years, but I still get an absolute joy of satisfaction and reward when I've taken a piece of flat material, leather, and fashioned it into something purposeful and beautiful and functional. That's what feeds me. The passion for making, the passion for creating. Honestly, I can't emphasise. This is my job. I walk in here every morning, and I do this as my job. I make stuff. That's awesome. No. It's on my hand. No! It's like curling with boxes, but really hard. Nope. Don't let go of the knife. Honestly, Mel Gibson couldn't do this. Yes. Yeah. Do it again.